welcome to round 4 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from Mosport Park near Bowmanville, Ontario. Hello everybody, I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez for what amounts to our mid-season shootout at this very fast track here at Mosport. A lot has happened during the first 3 races of our series with a battle for the win, always exciting from wire to wire. Here's Pat with more.
I'm standing in front of the car that won the opener here at Mosport. Scott Goodyear's Pop 84 FAF Porsche 944 Turbo. He had a great battle with defending series champion Richard Spinard, but at the checkered flag, it was Goodyear taking the opener here at Mosport. The second race in the series was at the grueling Niagara Falls street course. The concrete took its toll on the cars, but Scott Goodyear never put a foot wrong despite constant pressure from Case Nierop. Goodyear never surrendered the lead, winning his second race of the series. The action moved on to Mont Tremblant, Quebec for round number 3, where Prue and Spinard shared the front row, with Stefan being assessed a time penalty for bumping on the pace lap. However, that didn't stop a determined Richard Spinard from outclassing the field and taking his first Rothmans Porsche win.
The action has been exciting and the treatment of these race cars has been anything but soft. Here's Pat with a look at how the mechanical side has affected these past races.
We've talked about the sealed engines in these Porsche 944 turbos before. It's the key factor that ensures that the driver is all important in this series for equally prepared race cars. This is David Deacon's Cook Motors Racing Team Porsche, and like all of the other cars in the series, the engine cannot be rebuilt after each event, and a team with a bigger budget or access to trick parts can't get an unfair advantage. But the sealed engines do create another problem. All the teams have to keep a constant check for abnormal engine wear that would normally be discovered during a regular teardown. How do they do it? It's simple. This collapsible suction bottle is used by the crews to get a sample of the oil from the crankcase. And with the help of the Shell technicians, the oil that's delivered in these Porsches can constantly be monitored. A sample of engine oil is taken from each race car after an event. It's analyzed at Shell's Oakville Research Laboratories, and the results of the testing showing engine wear are discussed with the drivers and crew managers.
Thanks, Pat. Let's take a look now at how the point standings are shaping up. Consistent qualifying and finishing is the key to being at the top for Goodyear with 71 championship points. Prue and Spinard follow with 66 and 54 respectively. Case Nierop and Brian Malcolm are tied with 46. And look at this, only 2 points separating the next 5. Heimrath, David Tennyson, Claude Gu, each with 43. Bienvenu and Richard Laporte, both capable of moving up quickly in the 9th and 10th spots. As you can see, the drivers are getting strapped into their cars. We'll be back with the start of race number 4 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup from Mosport right after this. Welcome back to Mosport Park near Bowmanville, Ontario, and the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. This is round number 4 of 8 races as a 27-car squirrel back and forth to warm up those Pirelli slicks.
On the pole position, a familiar sight, Richard Spinard, and alongside his teammate Stefan Prue in the Motomaster Downtown Fine Cars Porsches. The 1986 champion Case Nierop starts in row 2 along with rookie Richard Laporte. In the 3rd row will be Cam Champion in the Performance Cars Porsche and alongside the current points leader Scott Goodyear in the Pop 84 Porsche. In the 4th row will be Raymond David and Ludwig Heimrath. The 5th row, Deacon and Bai. The 6th row, Bienvenu and Claude Gu. Gleason and Schill in row 7. Aberman and Malcolm in 8. The 9th row, Demaray and Bieri. The 10th row, Lilliaver and Powell. Tennyson and Holman in 11. The 12th row, Hornbostel and Campbell. Caruso and Seabrook in row 13. And Norman Boyer back in row 14. The drivers approach the flagger's stand and the green flag is out. We're racing at Mosport. Richard Spinard grabs the lead. Stefan Prue into 2nd, side by side for 3rd. Into the bottom of 1 and contact there between Laporte and Case Nierop. Nierop into 3rd, Laporte runs 4th. There you can see from the onboard camera, Scott Goodyear up to the outside. He will move around Cam Champion into the 5th place position. So Joe, a beautiful pass already by Scotty Goodyear. He is on the charge.
And Case Nierop really anxious to get up front in a hurry. He gave Laporte a little bit of a bump, moved himself into third. He's in good shape right now.
Single file through turn number 3, pretty well here on the opening lap. Back with the leaders, Richard Spinard into Moss Corner for the first time. Stefan Prue in second, Case Nierop third, then a bit of a gap to Richard Laporte in fourth. Scott Goodyear runs fifth. As we go on board Richard Laporte's Rotisserie Laurier Porsche up the back straightaway. The car is approaching 150 miles an hour at the end of this straightaway, but it is Richard Spinard who leads. Stefan Prue in second, single file. The drivers working the draft off the car ahead of them as they work the long back straightaway here at Mosport into the top of the S's. It's Spinard leading, Prue in second, Case Nierop right there in third, and the fourth place driver now Laporte, as well as the fifth place car of Scott Goodyear, have all closed up.
A pretty sight, these 944s, as they make a train through the S's.
There you can see from Richard Laporte's car, Scott Goodyear goes through into the fourth place position as they went through turn number 9. A beautiful pass by Goodyear as he tries to catch the leaders. You're on board Stefan Prue's Porsche as he runs in the second place position, just a couple of car lengths back from his teammate Richard Spinard, who continues to lead the field off of turn 1. It is Case Nierop in third. Scott Goodyear has already picked up a couple of positions. He runs in the fourth place position, and there you can see, Joe, Scott has pulled ahead of the fifth place driver Laporte, so it's a bit of a four-car breakaway here on lap number 2. Spinard, Prue, Nierop, and Goodyear in that order, then Laporte in fifth, and Camp Champion back in sixth.
Richard Laporte, a veteran of Formula 2000. This is his first year in the series. He's doing well to keep up with these guys. He's in fifth spot right now in the first race here in Mosport. He had trouble staying on the track, but he's definitely learned a lot in the short time that he's been involved in this series, Pat.
Well, Joe, there you can see the gap between the front-running 4 cars and Richard Laporte. He's going to try to catch them as they're doing most of the work, breaking the air on the back straightaway. There goes Scott Goodyear as he drafts around Case Nierop on the back straight. So Scott evidently has a little bit of an advantage up the Mosport back straightaway. He's moved around into that third place position side by side, very close as Nierop tried to get him back, going into the S's, but Goodyear would have nothing of it. So it is Spinard leading, followed by Stefan Prue as they come through turn 9. Goodyear in third, Nierop on the inside of Goodyear. He'll retake that third place position.
What a pass by Nierop. Goodyear left him a little bit of an opening, and Nierop jumped right on top of it.
You're aboard Rick Bye's number 8 Reebok Porsche as he runs back into ninth place position. He's got perhaps the best seat in the house to watch the train of Porsches up ahead as they run just inches apart onto this section of straightaway. There you can see Spinard, followed by Prue, then Nierop aboard the Pauly Voltec Porsche in third. Then a bit of a gap back to Goodyear, who's dropped back off the pace just a little bit. So Scott has some catching up to do. And for the moment, it's 3 cars running up front. Then a gap back to Goodyear in fourth. It's Laporte in fifth and Camp Champion sixth.
When we cut to the interior shots, you can see just how rough some parts of Mosport are, especially around Moss Corner. It's also very slippery because these Porsches are following a 24-hour race event. That is part of this weekend package here at Mosport.
On board Stefan Prue's Porsche as he runs up the back straightaway trying to catch his teammate. That is Richard Spinard, who's led here since the opening lap, followed by Case Nierop, Scott Goodyear. Then it is Richard Laporte in fifth, and now you're on board the sixth place driver, Camp Champion, up to the outside. That is Ludwig Heimrath. He will take over sixth, pushing Camp Champion back into seventh.
There are the standings with Spinard ahead of Prue, followed by Nierop, Scott Goodyear, and Richard Laporte. Then it's Ludwig Heimrath, Camp Champion, Jacques Bienvenu, Rick Bye, and Dave Deacon. Pat, it's amazing how a guy like Deacon, who runs his own ad agency, can just close up the office, hop in the car, go racing, and he's very competitive.
Well, Joe, he, of course, was one of the founding fathers of the Rothmans Porsche series just 3 years ago and has finally decided to go racing.
Richard Spinard has the lead. We'll return with more action from Mosport Park. Welcome back to Mosport Park and the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley, and with me is Pat Gonzalez as we watch second place Stefan Prue fill Richard Spinard's mirrors going down the chute into Moss Corner. Pat, this has been the story of this race so far today.
Well, Spinard and Prue qualified side by side on the front row, but they've been really going at each other. Here's Prue into Moss corner. He goes underneath of Spinard to take over the lead. And Scott Goodyear has moved around Case Nierop into the third place position. So we've had a couple of very important position changes here on this lap. It is Stefan Prue who now leads. Spinard in second, Goodyear third, Case Nierop is fourth. It is still Richard Laporte in fifth and Ludwig Heimrath in the sixth place position. Into the top of the S's, it is Spinard still trying to chase down Prue, and Scott Goodyear has caught both of those drivers as they swing through turn number 9. It's just a couple of car lengths separating the front-running three drivers, Prue, Spinard, and Goodyear, then a bit of a gap back to Case Nierop.
Prue and Spinard may be teammates, but as far as Stefan Prue is concerned, only one man can win this race, and he wants to be that man.
Richard Spinard all over Stefan Prue as they run out of turn number 1. Spinard is right there.
Spinard has been harassed by Prue all race long, and now it's Richard's turn. I asked him earlier if Stefan Prue would be his toughest competition.
I expect to have very close competition from Stefan this weekend. He's qualified second. He's not too far behind me. I have probably more experience in Mosport on these type of cars than Stefan, but Stefan is a very talented driver. He's very smart and extremely quick, so it's going to be hard for me to walk away from him.
There is Richard Spinard working on Stefan Prue, but here's Scott Goodyear trying to do some walking all of his own. He's pulled up alongside of Spinard. They're side by side as they head up over the top of the hill into the S's. Spinard down to the inside. Goodyear will have to tuck in that third place position. But a ferocious battle up front. Prue, Spinard, and Goodyear a little further back. This is the race for 6th. Jacques Bienvenu in car number 89, followed by Rick Bai, who runs in 7th. Cam Champion has dropped back into the 8th place spot.
That's Reinhold Schill going off the track at Moss Corner. It appears he's got a flat tire and some body damage. Obviously, he had a date with a guardrail.
There you can see the 8th place driver, Cam Champion, motioning number 8, Rick Bai, over on the back straightaway.
There's Brian Malcolm being passed by Uli Bieri. Malcolm's hood is bent right out of shape. He's obviously had a little bodywork here today. Looks like Claude Gou's going to get by as well.
Back with the leader, Stefan Prue. Scott Goodyear side by side with Richard Spinard for second. Goodyear will move around into that second place position. Spinard will have to tuck in now in third. So Goodyear shows the horsepower up the back straightaway at Mosport, and then it is Case Nierop in the Pauly Voltec Porsche right there in fourth. A superb four-driver battle for the lead. Back into the S's. It is Prue, followed by Goodyear, then Spinard and Case Nierop in that order. Goodyear wants the lead as he closes, pushing hard through turn 10. He's to within a car length of Stefan Prue, and Joe, the action really heating up front.
There's some good action back in the middle of the pack as well. This is Uli Bieri, followed by Zav Aberman, and that's Brian Malcolm with the banged up hood.
Back with the leader, Scott Goodyear being sandwiched in between here. He goes down to the inside of Prue, who locks up the wheels. Going into turn 3, Goodyear has taken the lead.
Scott Goodyear qualified 6th here today. He continues to have problems during qualifying, but he takes advantage of every opportunity he gets. And right now, he's pulled himself into the lead.
Scott Goodyear down the chute into Moss Corner, and Joe, of course, his Pfaff Motors crew have worked long and hard to make this car better since those qualifying efforts earlier this weekend, and they've put all the pieces together here today. Goodyear, your leader, followed by Prue.
And as you can see, it's Richard Spinard in third, Case Nierop in fourth, followed by Richard Laporte. Then it's Jacques Bienvenu, Rick Bai, David Deacon, Cam Champion, Raymond David. That's his best showing so far in this series.
That lead battle starting to really heat up. Goodyear into the S's by a few car lengths. You're on board Richard Laporte's car back in that 5th place position. Laporte probably has the best seat in the house to watch the 4 drivers go at each other up front. Goodyear, your leader. Prue in second. Spinard is third. Nierop fourth, and Laporte has closed up. He is very much in the hunt for that 2nd place position, at least for the moment. 89, Jacques Bienvenu going through there, leading the 2nd group, as Rick Bai is all over Jacques Bienvenu in the Dicom Express Porsche. There is Bai looking to the inside at the bottom of turn 1, but Bienvenu shut the door, and the opening was not there. That is a great race for that 6th place position. Bienvenu 89. Here is Rick Bai on the inside of Bienvenu. Rick Bai will take over that position as he pulls up alongside of Jacques Bienvenu. You're back with Cam Champion. He is in the thick of that 2nd group. There is Bienvenu along with Rick By in the number 8 Reebok Porsche. They're side by side down the chute into Moss Corner, and Rick By will now clearly get ahead of Jacques Bienvenu into the 6th place spot. Bienvenu 7th. It is 44. David Deacon in 8th. The 9th place driver is Cam Champion, and then Raymond David back in the 10th place spot.
That's Larry Caruso. He's teamed up with the veteran Heimrath. They're able to communicate using Bell cellular phones. Let's listen in.
Competition's awful close even back here.
The competition continues very close up front. There's the battle for second place as Stefan Prue leads Richard Spinard, followed by Case Nierop and then Richard Laporte. They're trying to chase down the leader, Scott Goodyear. We'll be back with the concluding laps of this Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series race in a moment.
Welcome back to the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series, round number 4 from Mosport Park. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez. Right now you're looking at number 9, Scott Goodyear, who has led this race since lap number 10 when he passed Stefan Prue.
There's Stefan. Joe put a couple of wheels off Spinard to the inside. He'll take over that second place position as Stefan made that one mistake. Spinard is right there to take advantage of it and pounce into that second place position. Goodyear, your leader, through Moss Corner, followed by Spinard.
Pat, these 5 drivers are consistently earning valuable championship points at each race, just like number 46, Montreal's Claude Gou. I asked Claude earlier how he did it.
Well, yes, actually, we worked really hard before the beginning of the season. We went and tested a couple of days, and that made the difference. And the secret has been consistency, making points at every race.
A couple of drivers who've been very consistent. Rick By in the Reebok Porsche number 8, just ahead of David Deacon in the number 44 Cook Racing Porsche. They're having quite a scrap there for the 6th place position. On the back straightaway, Richard Laporte going by Case Nierop. Laporte will move into that 4th place position and now is working on Stefan Prue for 3rd. Over the top of the hill into the S's. Laporte looks to the inside of Prue but cannot make the pass. He'll follow in line. And then it is Case Nierop back in that 5th place spot.
What a job by series rookie Richard Laporte. His best race by far so far in this series, and perhaps an indication of things to come, Pat.
You're on board the new 4th place driver, Richard Laporte, as he tries to chase down now the 3rd place man. That is Stefan Prue. He's just a few car lengths back as they move out of the straightaway out of turn 1. The leader, Scott Goodyear, going through. Richard Spinard in 2nd, Prue 3rd, Laporte 4th, and Case Nierop still very much in the hunt here as he runs back in the 5th place position in that Poly Voltac Porsche. But the racing, Joe, has been superb all day long. Here is Rick By. He is your 6th place driver, having a good run. 44, David Deacon right behind him. Then it is Jacques Bienvenu, followed by Cam Champion, and number 41, Raymond David. Richard Laporte is close right up on Stefan Prue as they work the back straightaway at Mosport. Here is Laporte. He'll pull up alongside of Prue. He'll take over that 3rd place position. Laporte into 3rd, and Prue now will have to tuck in as they head up over the top of the hill. Case Nierop dropping back a few car lengths. It is Spinard in 2nd, followed by Laporte, Prue, and then Case Nierop. This race for 2nd place really heating up. Goodyear continues to run out in front.
That's the battle for 6 now. There's David Deacon passing Jacques Bienvenu. It's now Rick By in 6th, Deacon 7th, Bienvenu 8th, and Cam Champion's Performance Cars Porsche is in 9th spot.
Scott Goodyear all by himself out in front as he runs it off the bottom of turn 2. Spinard in 2nd, and now Richard Laporte is closing on the 2nd place driver, Spinard. This is his best drive of the series so far for Richard Laporte, as he has taken a couple of races to adjust from the open wheel Formula 2000 cars. But boy, is he showing his stuff here this afternoon at Mosport. He's to within just a couple of car lengths of Spinard as they run it through Moss Corner. Prue in 4th, Case Nierop, the 1986 champion, back in 5th.
There's the leader, Scott Goodyear. He's catching up to the back markers. This may slow him up a bit. That's David Tennyson.
You're on board Richard Laporte as he drafts off of Richard Spinard on the back straightaway. Laporte pulls up alongside. He'll take over that 2nd place position. Spinard being pushed back into 3rd. There's the leader, Goodyear. He's gotten by Tennyson. then Laporte, followed by Spinard, Prue, and then Case Nierop in the Poly-Voltec Porsche. As they run it through the S's, Richard Laporte, the new second-place driver, through turn number 9, and there's Spinard. He'll go right back into second place with a beautiful pass through turn 9.
Coming up to the last lap, Scott Goodyear has a comfortable lead, but second place is certainly up for grabs.
Scott Goodyear has moved around both David Tennyson and Larry Caruso nicely. Now it's up to Spinard and Richard Laporte to make their way around the back markers here on this last lap. There is Spinard and Laporte moving down to the inside as they go around Larry Caruso, and Laporte locked up the tires going through turn 3. Spinard holds out of that second place position, but Laporte is all over him to within just a couple of car lengths now as they go down to shoot, heading to Moss Corner with less than a lap to go. Scott Goodyear, your leader, through Moss for the final time in that Pop 84 Porsche. He has driven a superb race here this afternoon.
There's David Deacon in the Cook Motors Porsche Special. He's in trouble after running a terrific race.
David Deacon did run a superb race. He was up as high as 7th, and that'll be a bitter disappointment to the entire crew that's worked very hard this weekend. On the back straightaway, Richard Laporte has taken over that second place position. Spinard trying to chase him back down into the S's. But Spinard, who was in second, loses that second place spot for the second lap in a row to Richard Laporte through turn 10. Scott Goodyear coming up to the flagger's stand. The checkered flag is out, and Scotty Goodyear has won the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup race here at Mosport.
That's 3 wins in 4 tries for Scott Goodyear in the Pop 84 Fat Porsche. Now here's Rick Bye holding off a determined Jacques Bienvenu for 6th. And Raymond David brings home the Motoplan Porsche in 9th, just ahead of Claude Gu.
The final standings for our 4th race of 8 is Scott Goodyear, the winner, followed by Richard Laporte in his best finish to date. Richard Spinard, Stéphane Prue, and Case Nierop. Then it's Rick Bye, Jacques Bienvenu, camp champion, Raymond David, and Claude Gu. That puts Scott Goodyear in a commanding lead for the championship. Here's the happy winner.
The guys did a superb job of getting the handling fixed, which was the problem at St. Javide, and the car works perfectly now, and the tires came through, the Pirelli P0s worked excellent, and the whole Pop 84 Fat Porsche crew did an excellent job. I'm quite happy with them.
A great crowd on hand for the presentation as Fred Doobie, General Manager of the Porsche Division, presents Scott Goodyear with an original Eskimo soapstone carving and the winner's check. Congratulations to the FAF Capricorn Racing Team. Next stop, Shannonville Motorsport Park for the 5th round of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. This is Joe Tilley for Pat Gonzalez. So long.